Hello and welcome to your Wednesday Advanced Training webinar. My name is Jared Krebs. I'm here in San Antonio, Texas. And before we bring on our special guest, I'm going to remind you of 10 things to expect when building your USANA business. Number one, there will be ups and downs just like anything. Number two, success or failure is up to you. If you succeed, it's because of you. If you fail, it's because of you. Not because of USANA, not because of your upline. Number three, the goal is for you to become independent and be an independent leader for your team. Number four, make your plan on the weekends. Do it, review it, and make adjustments. Plan, do, review, and adjust. Number five, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take 1 year to become competent at the skills to do this. It's gonna take 3 years to develop a significant part-time income. It's gonna take 5 years to become a significant full-time earner and 7 years to become world-class. It can happen faster, but it's still gonna take time. Number six, it takes consistency. You have got to do your activities week in and week out, just like a job would do. Eventually, it will grow beyond a job. Number seven, you are going to have to get outside of your comfort zone and just do things that make you feel uncomfortable. To get what you've never had, you have to do what you've never done. Number eight, mental toughness is necessary, for sure. Number nine, the grass is not greener in other companies. The grass is greener where you water it. And number 10, this is a long-term game. USANA is 27 years strong with over $2.5 billion paid to its associates. It's helped myself and my wife have a full-time income for over a decade, as well as thousands of people around the world who have a full-time income from USANA. Hundreds of thousands have made a part-time income for sure, because it works if you work. And bonus tip, remember, amateurs sell products, but professionals sell the vision. Make sure that you're having your clients watch these videos, your prospects, have them see what USANA can do for their life, not just as a great product, but a great community, a great financial decision, and great personal growth and development. And few have done it, as well as Bronze Director Justin Hess, who we are so blessed to have. Justin, thank you for being here today.
Hey, thanks, guys. I'm really happy to be here with you.
Where are you, man?
I am in my backyard in this little valley called Templeton Valley on the coast of Oregon.
Oh my gosh. You look like you're in a postcard. It looks like I don't know, like one of those backdrops that it's a digital backdrop, but it's real. That's reality back there?
It absolutely is. Yep. You just might hear some cows mooing back there. There's some cows eating the grass.
Oh my gosh. Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you for being here, taking time out of your busy schedule. We want to hear what your life was like before USANA. What were some of the challenges that you were faced with, both with your maybe your finances and your time, but also with your health, and how joining with USANA has helped your health, your family's health, your finances, your personal growth, and what are some of the challenges maybe you overcame along the way? What is your life like today? We just want to know your story. So we have about 15 to 20 minutes for your story, and then we'll open it up for questions. But Justin, take it away, man. Welcome.
Hey, awesome. Thanks, guys. Like I said, I'm happy to be here, Jared. It's always great to see what you and your team have been up to. You guys are on fire, man. I just got to give a shout out to Olivia. I saw that she locked in that lifetime premier pay setter the other day, and Sue Ann for hitting both the charts last week. I mean, woo! Seriously, you guys got a great leader. You're following right in Jared's footsteps, and Randy's always right there with you guys. So really, I'm really happy to see what you guys are doing, and I'm blessed to be part of this call today. So I really love it here. I hope you guys enjoy the view. It's serene, and our door's always open. So if you need a place to enjoy the Oregon coast, you guys make sure to call us, and we'll get you set up. So, well, where do I start? We've been in USANA now. We just finished our 6th USANA convention, but it's just over 5 years. We were lucky enough to get into USANA about 3 or 4 weeks before, the international convention in 2014. So we got to start out with a huge vision, and it was great because I did have some challenges when I first got started. So I was recruited by my father. He actually got me to come to a kind of a hotel meeting, but it was actually in the front area of a business in the local community where I lived in Ogden, Utah. And we went in. It was like a Thursday night. It was 7 p.m. And I'm looking around. All these people are there. I'm like, what am I doing here? I had no idea. And next thing you know, I'm just fascinated with what's being talked about by this energetic woman at the front of the room telling me about this amazing product. And I started to think, wow, this sounds exactly like what I need. Me and my family have had our health struggles and all kinds of things. So a little bit about me what led me into the USANA journey before we go any further with that is I actually was at 27 years old. I was diagnosed with diabetes. And the doctors told me, hey, you can go ahead and start taking the medication now, or you can have a drastic lifestyle change today. And I said, obviously, I don't want any medication. So I immediately went home and I told my wife, I have to make my own plates from now on. You're giving me too much love on the plate. I'm eating too much, too many goodies. And so I started taking baby steps, but that led me into this, like being open, right? Being open-minded, having this opportunity for things like USANA to flow towards me. And, God and the universe just started pouring things into us. I had health coaches coming out of the woodworks, just cheering me and my family on, and that's just a little bit of my story, but Amy has a whole story of hers. I hope she gets to share with you guys too, but she had a lot of health challenges. And so needless to say, we were a lot like everyone else. When you hear the story that people are in the looking zone, in and out of it, well, we were far into the looking zone. We were heavy into it. And I was about 85 pounds overweight, diabetic, 27 years old, no energy. And I just started my health journey. I had lost about 25 pounds when USANA came into the life. Here I am sitting in this USANA meeting, and I'm 25 pounds down from the last time I went to the doctor, and here comes USANA. Now, I went home for 3 days after the meeting, and I tried to talk myself out of signing up because I've heard about these things. I knew this had to be too good to be true. So if that was you and you're skeptical, or any of your people are skeptical when you're talking to them, don't give up, because I'll tell you what, if I wouldn't have had an upline that was in persistence, I would have quit. I would have just said, this isn't it. I went to Google and I went to all the wrong places to find out about this USANA company. But ultimately, that Friday night, I did sign up because I had an upline that was following up. And I went ahead and I signed up with a pro pack, and I never looked back. The first week in the business, me and Amy earned a check, and that was incredible because our finances were in a position where we needed something. So again, USANA came in, and I had the health piece. I was looking for an opportunity to make more money. Never expected it to be network marketing. Never expected it to be my own business. I just thought that I would end up getting a great job again, because I used to make close to $200,000 a year when I was an oil-filled employee. But I spent a very large amount of my time away from my family. And where I was living, that's far above, the normal amount of money. Or median wage where I was living is about $45,000 a year. So he was doing really well. Well, some personal struggles came up. We ended up losing that income, losing that. And with the health, we had that whole journey coming together. And now we're looking for the income piece because we started to see how easy it was. We started to see how simple it was, not easy, how simple the concept was. We started enjoying the benefits, then we started sharing the benefits, then we started getting paid. And we were like, whoa, wait a minute. I was driving a dump truck, a 73-foot dump truck that weighed 116,000 pounds, 12 hours a day, guys. That's what I was doing when USANA came into my life. And trust me, the Maverick gas station food was killing me. The long hours, the lack of sleep, the stress on the road. I'm telling you guys, my life was like perfect. I was like the perfect USANA prospect. So, my upline got me involved, and then 2 weeks later they quit. My upline quit. I had nobody to. Not only did I feel frustrated and stressed about them quitting, I was like, well, now what do I do? I was barely getting involved in the products. I was just starting to feel some benefits of my health packs and the shakes. And then my upline quit. So I'm like, well, now what? And I didn't know anybody else in the business because I was working too much to go and make new USANA friends. I had just been pulling over in my dump truck anytime I had a chance, hammering out text messages like, you guys, these products are great. My energy levels are ridiculous. And of course, people are writing me back. You're like, I don't think you need more energy, Justin. Like you're already just full of energy, And I'm like, no, but I feel better. I feel good. Trust me, you guys are going to try this. So I just started getting it into people's hands, and before we hit, we're getting a phone call from USANA corporate, and let me not jump ahead. So we're getting through some of the struggles, right? So those of you who are getting involved in your business, if you haven't met me yet, you probably know I squirrel sometimes. I'll go from place to place. but I'll get there. I'll get you through this story, and it'll be a good one. And, you know, if you're trying not to struggle, or you're trying to avoid the struggle, give up on that. You can't avoid the struggle. You can't skip the struggle, but embrace the struggle, because it's going to show up when you least expect it, when you don't want it to, and you just got to get through it. And that's why, you know, there's always been that old saying, my mentor, Jeremy, he always told me, when you're down, call up, and when you're up, call your downline, because that's the truth. You never know who you're going to pour out that energy on when you're full of hot fire energy and you're rocking and rolling. You never know who you're going to pour that onto that really needed it. And when you're down, you just call up, because that's what they're there for. We're here for our teams, to build them up and to help you realize that you're not alone, you know, the same way convention does. So I I lost my upline. I got frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And then so I went ahead and I went to this white box. For those of you who got started a while ago, there was a white box, and it had some CDs in it and some books. And I just started looking through this stuff, and I was like, well, CD, I got a CD player. I throw the CD into the CD player while I'm working, and I listen to this guy named Darren Hardy. And I'm like, Darren Hardy, huh? Okay, well, this guy's got a cool voice. He won't bore me to tears. I'm going to listen to this guy. Well, I fell in love with Making the Shift. If you haven't listened to that little audio program, Making the Shift, I'll tell you, that was my first introduction to personal growth, right? And I was like, oh man, everything changed when he said, okay, now light that building on fire. Your kids are across the building. It's on fire. How much would you do? What would you do to get across that plank now? How much would I have to pay you? And he said, nothing. And immediately you're across there, because the why changed. And I was like, I need a why. So I sat down and I started filling out this packet that came with my kit. So if you haven't done your starter kit yet, guys, I know Jared's got a great starter kit. If you haven't done it yet, you got to get it done. So that starter kit was starting to lead me through it all. Starting to have some struggles. So now I started reaching into this toolbox. And I'm like, okay, the struggles don't feel so strong anymore, because I'm like, it's just a sidestep. I don't have to jump even a 15-foot tall hurdle. I just walked around it, and I went on to the next thing, and I found a new hurdle to go around or under. I found my way around them. But here we go. We're getting along. And, you know, next thing you know, I get a rank advance pin in the mail, and I don't even know what it is, because like I said, I didn't have an upline. I'm just going along. I'm doing my thing. I don't even know how to sign into the back office. I'd never even set up an auto order before my upline quit. They didn't walk me through that. I'm working 12 to 14 hours a day, and I'm not having all the time in the world to just go and invest into learning all this stuff yet, guys. So I'm just working, and I'm doing what I can to just be a loudmouth. Get out there and share USANA. I didn't know if I was doing it right, but I was doing it, and turns out I was doing a good job at it, because people were responding well. And, you know, so one of the biggest parts that I can say is use the tools. So anyway, I sit down, I'm listening to personal growth. I'm starting to write my why. I'm starting to write a list of goals. And before you know, I have a full page of goals, things that I want to do. And I didn't even know there were some of these things that I wanted to do, but there they are. I got a full page of goals, and we start working on how we're going to get there. When I say we, I say me and Darren Hardy. He was kind of like my guy for a while. Every day I listen to that Making the Shift. I could probably quote most of that CD to you. It's a little silly, but it made me stronger. So eventually I found this number for customer service, and they became my next best friend. I started calling customer service, and we got to know each other. You know, this, before you know it, I know Penny, and then I know Brian, and then I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? And hey, what do you got for us today? And I'm asking them questions, and they're helping me get through it. I got an auto order set up. I learned what Platinum Pay Setter was. Turns out I was tracking for Premier Platinum Pay Setter. So now I knew what it was. I was going to chase it down, and I went ahead and locked it in. I think I had like 2,400 points and 6 associates in my first 8 weeks, you know, something like that. And the big thing for me was I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know the power of it then, but I just started to listen to the tools. And Brian and Monica Penrod, they were on this other CD, and they said, you know, get involved, get doing this, doing that. And I started listening to Brian, Monica Penrod, didn't know who they were. And now I've sat down and had lunch with both of them and enjoyed great conversations and been mentored by them. So it's like I get to meet all these great people that poured into my life before they ever had a chance to know me, and just return that gratitude. So it's really fun. But, you know, me and my wife, you know, she kept supporting me and cheering me on. And all the while she was at home taking care of our family, taking care of things. And I didn't even know any better to get her involved yet, you know, so she's just cheering us on, doing the great things. Well, she says, hey, I, I got this, you got this phone call from this guy named Jeremy Stansfield, and he wants to meet us, and I'm not sure who he is or whatever. And I hadn't met Jeremy Stansfield yet or heard of him or anything. Well, it's like, call him back. And he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hi. I'm like, this guy is energetic. Whoa, And so I'm like, I like this guy. He matches my energy. I think that's good. Well, he invites me up, and I get to know him, and then boom, I have a mentor. And so that's the first real life USANA mentorship that I had. And then Stacy Christensen, who's a gold director in his downline, became a really great mentor to me. And we started working, and next thing you know, me and Amy reached some really cool things that we didn't even know existed. We made it through these challenges of people, as you can imagine. So in order to get to where we were getting, Jeremy started seeing us appear on the charts week after week after week. I didn't know anyone was watching those charts because I was ignoring those emails. I didn't have time to read the emails yet. And, for those of you who work 14 hours a day, you're very strong people, and I've been there. And so I pray that, you continue to work your business so that you can cut back on some of them hours and keep working with your teams to get through those. But when it came down to it, I was probably talking to 15 people a day through text message. And the text message, because Jeremy told me it was a no-no, the text message was simply to set up a phone call. And I listened to my mentor, even though I wanted to use that text because it was comfortable and easy. I didn't have to get on the phone, and when I'm driving, I have to pull over to take a phone call. But hey, it was what was making the deal. The text messages locked in the opportunity for people to say yes or no. Most said yes, by the way. So the text message was simple. Hey, dude, it's been a while. How you been? I got something that I'm pumped about, and I thought of you. Call me right now. I want to tell you why. Believe it or not, they'd shoot me a message back and say, you call me when you can, and I'd call right away. Hit call right there out of the message screen. What's up, John? How you doing? Hey, dude, I'm doing this thing. And then I'd make the pitch. It was a little all over the place at first. I got better. I wrote a script. I fine-tuned it, and I read the script word for word. My script was 3 pages long, but I could read it in 3 minutes. It was a pitch, and it worked, and I was getting a lot of yeses. It was called the 4-component approach. Jeremy Stansfield taught it on YouTube in like 2012, and I just mastered it. And, it taught me to learn to take a pause, take a break, adjust your voice, turn the page, find your spot on the page. They don't got to know you're reading to them. They don't care. Before you know it, you're really giving them a lot of value, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking to make sure that what you're saying is not BS. And so make sure that what you're saying is genuine and it's valuable and it's worth it. Don't waste their time. You never know if you'll get another chance to make this pitch to them. So I ran into some people that were super closed off, to the point of even like pulling me aside and saying, hey, I'm going to try to save you here, man. You're going down a road. You're going down a road you don't want to go down, man. And I'm like, wow. This person really cares about me. It must be really hard for them to do this. But it's like, that's the day I woke up and was like, people have the wrong idea. And my mission changed. My mission went from making money and like selling products to freaking helping people see what this industry really was, because this guy had the wrong idea. And that's when my passion got involved. That's when I got really committed to building a network marketing business, because I fell in love with the freedom, the idea, the dream, and I never looked back. And about 7 months after I started, I actually went full time, and me and my wife got together on it. She was working, but I was full time at home, taking care of the kids part of the day, getting them in school the rest of the day, and working USANA. And we did really well that year. And then we ran into some personal struggles. Not everybody's going to go through. They were ours. They were our struggles. And what stopped us, and that stopped us from being full-time. We had to get our heads together. And we had to say, look, we have this trouble. We got to deal with it. So we both went back to work for a while. We never quit doing USANA. But we didn't want to burn our USANA business down by stressing it to the max. You got to know when to say, hey, you got something going on, adjust. Trade your attention, put it where it needs to be, and make an adjustment. Don't throw in the towel and say, I can't do it all. Say, how can I do what I need to do? And that's what we did, so we went back to work. Well, happy to tell you again, we've went we started June of 2014. There's only been 5 weeks that we didn't collect USANA income checks. And those were 5 of the kind of gut checks that I've had in this business. Well, I just thought it was normal to get paid every week. You know, you get paid every week, you put in the work, you get paid. So I had to put in the work and get paid, because if I didn't, my personality didn't allow me to celebrate at the end of the week. My personality said, you missed something, don't do it again. You know, and believe it or not, that was probably what drove me to, we ended up being humbly receiving an award of Rising Star. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what Rising Star was. I got a phone call. I didn't even know what national celebration was. Okay. I got a phone call from corporate. They said, hey, you're not registered for nationals. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you need to register for this event in Vegas, man. We're going to recognize you and your wife, and you're not even registered. I'm like, recognize me for what? You know? And so they wanted to give us this award for being Rising Stars. And turns out that Rising Star is an opportunity that you get in your first full year of business in USANA. And I mean, a great leader like Jared, I'm sure mostly all of you know what that is, but it's really cool where you get to be recognized for being the top earners in your first year, I believe, in the nation, in your area, in your market. And so we were number 10 in the national market, and we were number like 10 or top 10 associate enrollers as well. So, I mean, that's how we were doing it. We were building our business. And then I was like, okay, now my eyes are opening to this new opportunity. And Jared, I don't know how we're doing on time, man. I'm just enjoying talking to you guys. So,
bro, keep it going, man. Keep it going.
Hey, so I mean, I'll tell you, right? We started to get this new vision now. We're like, whoa, we're getting recognized and rewarded amongst our peers for growing a business that's beneficial to our families, that's giving us an additional income. I'm going to bring this full circle, and I'm going to tell you how all this changed my life. So hang in there. So we basically went to this thing in Vegas. Jeremy Stansfield, really, that's when I really got to see what he was about, how he rocked in this business, how he led his team, how he inspired people. And that stuff just continued to build and inspire me. So latch on to your mentors and leaders and follow what they're doing, mimic what they're doing. Find out what makes them who they are, how they tick, how they overcome, do those things, because we kept doing it. And then we get another phone call coming into convention, our second convention, and they want us to walk the big stage. We were Rising Stars in the US market and Australia and whatnot, number 19. And that's when I was like, wait a minute, what's this Rookie of the Year thing I never heard about, you know? So I was like, dang it. So for those of you who are bringing on people that are energetic and they're full of like, just go get, and they want to get after it, make sure you tell them about Premier Platinum Pacesetter. Don't underestimate this requalification. If you haven't reached out to those people that had the fire and then dwindled out after they missed their goal, for people like me, when you miss your goal, it's disheartening. It like deflates you. So you give them that shot again, pump them back up, say, look, you got another shot at it. Don't miss it. Let's do it. Guess what? Customers count now. Any way you want to build this thing, let's build it. Let's get you locked in at this lifetime leadership. So anyway, doing that helped us reach that goal. And anyway, here we are 5 years later. What we've done is we've overcome personal troubles. We've overcome, if any of you are building this with your spouse, we've overcome those challenges, and we're still overcoming different challenges there every day. Because I'll tell you, when you go to give your spouse advice, it doesn't sound like advice most of the time. It sounds like criticism. So watch out for those things and be willing to grow in those areas, because if you throw in the towel, you'll never know how strong you can be. And if you don't work together, you'll never know how much you can accomplish. You know, put two strong people together and they can take the world, really. When you know that people believe in you, when you know they have your back, when your why, your vision, and your path are locked in, you can go a long ways and you can push through a lot of adversity. And so that list I told you guys about, that goal list, I'd never done. I don't have time to tell you my whole life story, but I'll tell you, I had a business-driven father, but he was a workaholic, and it was retail or a regular, normal business. wasn't around a lot, didn't get to teach me a lot of these mentoring things, didn't get to show me the ropes. He just showed me how to work hard, and he taught me that work ethic, and that always made me a good living. But as I got a family, I wanted different things, and I wanted to take them to do things, and that list was full of those things. It was full of, I want to be the soccer coach. I want to go take my kids to Disneyland. I want to do these things. Well, since getting involved in USANA, we were able to win a trip called Success on the High Seas. We went out to, I think we were with the Krebses out there. We went out to the Bahamas. It was amazing. Flew to Puerto Rico, USANA trainings, amazing networking. So we knocked off the honeymoon off of that list because we never had a honeymoon. We didn't have the money or the time off to go on a honeymoon. Took the kids to Disneyland. We've traveled to different states. We've started doing things all because of our extra USANA income. Don't underestimate the power of an extra couple $1,000s a month, or even $1,000 a month. Don't underestimate it. It makes a big difference to any family. And so that's kind of where we were.
I can't believe 30 minutes has gone by. Like, I can't believe it. It's like, it was like time just flew by, bro. You just sucked me in. Like, I was like, the whole time, like, so good. Oh my God. Okay, so here's my highlights. You're basically calling people, or you're texting people to get them on a phone call.
That's right.
Exactly what we train our team to do. So that's like, and I want to definitely get your script, because what you said there was great. We say something very similar, but I want to see again. I want to like look at what you said.
Yeah.
And so you were constantly just getting people on. And then you kind of read a script. It sounded like we started to have like a little video that kind of shares the story. That's only 3 minutes, kind of like almost like saying it's not the 4-component approach, but anyway, I'm just seeing like the parallels, of what got you where you are, and then kind of also what we're doing. And it's just interesting how they are both very similar approaches. I think the energy of that what you bring to the table is so exciting, and that is like, you can have the best script, you can have the best strategy, but without that energy behind it, that's how you find the best people. That's how you get your business going. So you have the energy. So it's like the marriage of the energy with the strategy. That's called luck, laboring under correct knowledge. Let's go. So let's just end with some questions. Sue-Ann Knobloch from San Antonio, how do you find the hungry people, the energetic people?
Okay, question of the day. I get that question all the time. Where do I find one of you? I'll tell you what. Your personality attracts people like you. And so if you want those energetic people and you want those people that are hungry, don't be afraid to be you. And if that's not your personality, but you want those kind of people, you're going to have to level up a little bit. You're going to have to say, well, what kind of traits am I looking for? And you have to try to bring those to the table when you're looking for people, especially when you're in person, you're out in public. Life can be a performance from time to time. And those introverted people, they don't love to perform, but they can. Brian Douglas is a great performer. He's not a huge socializing person. He's not a huge extrovert, but man, is he a lot of fun to be around at an event, because he knows the power of performance and he knows that what it does for people. So where to find them is everywhere and anywhere. And you just have to be ready and willing and prepared at all times. You never know when you'll find somebody.
That's true. Okay, Jared Harris from Salt Lake City asks, what do you do to take courage when you feel like making excuses, when you want to skip a day?
I'm getting ready for a Spartan race right now, Jared. It was good to see you, by the way, and shake your hand at convention.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, man, I love your energy, but here's I know you want a better answer than this, but here it goes. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. That's it.
5-second rule.
That's
great.
it.
Great.
I did it this morning, guys. I didn't want to work out, getting ready for a Spartan race, but I did it because I got a lot of things to do. I was getting ready for this, and I was like, I don't have time to work out. I got to get ready for this interview. And guess what? There was time to work out, and my brain was continuing to go while I worked out. And then I felt really great and ready for this call. It was do the things you need to do. There's a reason for it.
I love it. I love it. All right. So last question. We have come upon the 30 minutes. What is your advice for everybody to end the call?
I'm going to give you, in a nutshell, the thing I've been telling myself for the last couple of months, because as all of you know, I just told you my story. Well, why am I still a bronze director? Right? That crosses people's minds, and I get that question all the time. Don't let that fool you. I've got every skill that I need to be a diamond director, but I stopped being a diamond director right here for a little while. I went through some struggles. So when you start looking in the mirror, you stop telling yourself anything but the best, because each of you are here for a reason, and every single one of you have what it takes. You just have to decide if you're going to believe that you're worth it and believe that you can do it. And I promise you can. So just get out there and go for it.
Boom. It all comes back to belief and self-concept.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, I mean, as great as all this energy and strategies, you have to combine that belief. It's like a soup, right? Yeah, you got to put it all in there together. That's right. And I do affirmations every day. Like, I look in that mirror, and I have a trampoline now. I have a trampoline. I'll probably need to do a Facebook Live, but literally it's in front of a mirror, and I wake up and I go and I jump on this trampoline, and I tell myself, I love the feeling of making tens of thousands of extra dollars monthly, holistically, joyfully, quickly, easily, surprisingly early, and I'm still working out 6 times a week. And I say it, and it's like, and then it's like money comes everywhere and people come everywhere, and it's like, but that's that's how I get my belief up in the mornings, you know? So thank you for sharing that, because that's like, if you're watching this video and you're skipping that step, like, oh, I don't want to do affirmations, I don't want to look in the mirror and say something positive 10 times. That's actually the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sometimes I don't feel like doing it, but I know I have to. And the trampoline thing, actually, what that does is it gets your lymph nodes like cleaning themselves. So that's why I do it. I learned it from Sanaviv, from USANA, Dr. Wentz's medical facility in Mexico. So, but it also gets the energy up and gets the belief up. So Justin, thank you for sharing that. And thank you for also prompting me to say that, because I think that's something that's missing in a lot of people's daily routine.
If you don't have a trampoline, right? Do jumping jacks if you don't have a trampoline. To get them
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Jumping jacks. Great point. Great point. All right. Well, Justin, thank you again. It's so awesome talking to you. Let's go ahead and unmute the lines. Everyone say thank you, Justin, and have an awesome day.
Thank you, Justin. Have an awesome day.
Thank you, Justin. Have an awesome day.
Thank you, Justin. I'm going to call you.
Okay.